real quick, we've been talking about these different parts of the cells, and I said there are some things that are must knows, and so I'm just going to kind of briefly discuss those. Most of you turned in your parts of the cell project, and so what I want to do is just kind of let you know a couple little important details. First of all, the three of the must knows are cell membrane, nucleus, and cytoplasm. And what I want you to keep in mind about those is they're all in plants and animals. So plants and animals are going to contain these three. Tomorrow we'll talk a little bit about some parts of a cell that are only in plant cells. But know that these are in all cells. The cell membrane, we've talked extensively about that. Just kind of some points of emphasis. It's a semi-permeable membrane, and what it does, it regulates what goes in and out. So that's important detail to know. It consists of double layers of phospholipids, and those are going to contain a hydrophilic head and a hydrophobic tail. Remember, hydrophilic head because the head portion of that phospholipid is going to face the water. The tail is going to face away. Those two layers, they kind of go back to back. And then that's what allows, it's made of lipids, in other words, fats. So it's insoluble in water, meaning water will not dissolve it. So it's able to maintain and survive around the cell in that high concentrated area with water all around it. Doesn't, like I said, doesn't dissolve away. Most of the time, things are going to enter through, I shouldn't say most times, but many items, especially water, will enter through osmosis, or if it's not water, it will go through diffusion. You don't have to know about active transport, but I do just want you to recognize that there is a third method that things get into a cell called active transport. That's something that you'll learn down the road in biology or anatomy and physiology. But anyway, those are the main things you need to understand. Really, the first two especially. Semi-permeable membrane made of a double layer of phospholipids. The other component is the nucleus. Extremely important part of the cell. It basically regulates what happens inside the cell. It's kind of like the brain of each individual cell, so to speak. It's the central portion of a cell, but I do want to say not every single cell has the nucleus located right smack dab in the middle. Many of them do, a lot of them do, but not all of them. But typically, when they talk about it, they talk about it as being kind of in the center of the cell. What you have to understand is that is the area that contains the DNA. Okay. Your genetic information is inside the nucleus. You need to understand that. Now, we have two types of organisms. You have some that are eukaryotes, some prokaryotes. You are a eukaryote. What that means is that your cells contain a nucleus. Prokaryotes don't contain a nucleus. So here's what you have. If you have a prokaryote and no nucleus, that means the genetic information is just inside the cell itself. When you have a eukaryote, they all have nucleuses, and most organisms are eukaryotes, the majority of them. Which means that the DNA, all your genetic information for every cell, is going to be inside that nucleus. And then it's covered with another double membrane double membrane called a nuclear envelope. Similar to what the cell membrane is to the cell, the nuclear envelope is that to the nucleus. The last one that is a must-know is cytoplasm. It's going to be that thick gel-like substance that's between the cell membrane and the nucleus. And so, so what that means is like when you did your egg experiment, basically like where the white part of an egg would be, that would be like the cytoplasm. And that's inside that cytoplasm is where all the organelles are. So again, it's basically a thick substance that's going to be between the nucleus and the cell membrane. It also helps give shape to the cells and keep those organelles in place. Think of a water balloon, right? You fill up a water balloon, and it gives like some shape to that water balloon. Same type of situation here. The cytoplasm is going to give shape to the cell, and it allows those organelles to stay in place so they're not just moving around wherever they want within it. And it's made mostly of water and salt, right? It makes sense. You know that your cells are made mostly of water, right? You know you talk about having to have your salts and so forth. So that's basically because that fluid inside your cells, the cytoplasm, that's what it's made up of. It's made up mostly of the water and the salt within it. All right.